Greetings, everyone. It's Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and that means it's time for another live catch up with Mayo. So, we're here just to shoot the breeze and to talk about this and that, maybe things over the past week, maybe things not over the past week. And we'll find out very quickly who we have watching here. And I got stuff on my mind. Before I got on here live, I made a video. And whether I'm going to upload the video or not, I don't know. It's a video where I show you some vinyl finds of all kinds. Yes, indeed, there are vinyl finds of all kinds, and not just Beatles, but other stuff too. The purging that I was going to do, the great vinyl purge of 2022, is not off to a great start, and I don't really know if it's going to happen or not because I'm having a good time with vinyl. But something happened when I made the video, and it's a mystery. The case of the missing love gun on the Kiss album, because I had it and then I lost it. Now, I wonder if Vinyl Lover, are you Andrew? I'm all mixed up, but did I just see you? 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong, because if that's you, I just saw you at the store. Hello, Christopher, 628. Hello, Vinyl Lover. I'm talking about you. That is you, Andrew. I see your picture. Yes, indeed. Just missed you at the store. Yes, it is. He is. Okay, thanks for coming. Robert Logan. Yes, I know Robert Logan is always very excited about the Chicago Fest every year. He's dying for me to go. I'm dying to go. Maybe next year. I say that every year, but perhaps. Beans. What do you say, Beans? What do you say, Beans? Beans. Beans. Okay. Let's see. Beat Bailey. Hey, how you doing? You've recently started a YouTube channel. Is there any advice you would give to a newbie of making videos? I, you know, I think the most important thing, people ask me that from time to time, and I would say consistency. I think you have to really be diligent if you want to have a successful channel. You gotta post often. I think, and don't so people don't forget about you, and you can carve a niche for yourself in there. I would think. Hello, Zach. I got Zach here. Turkel. Hello, Tim Allen. Oh, he wants me to sing the monkeys. You sound like Darren Gamble. Look, I'm going to tell you what happened, folks. Okay, I got a video in the pipeline. Okay, and I'll give you a little sneak preview here. Am I actually getting to the point where I'm getting rid of vinyl? This is all new vinyl I bought recently. Okay, all right. So I don't really know. And I just made a video showing this stuff. And when I bought this one, Kiss Love Gun, it had the love gun in there. It had a piece of cardboard that was the gun that came with it. The cardboard gun, piece of cardboard, not a real gun, right? And I know it was there. I was looking at it and at the record store, and it's not in here. It's not anywhere. I looked and I can't find it. It's the case of the missing gun. And you ask if these are originals, they're not originals. I'm pretty sure they're not originals. This one did have the gun in it. An album like this, for example, this is not the blue label. This is not the first press. It's the tan label. It's not. These were all cheap. I don't think any of these. They don't have the inserts. A lot of them. They don't have the Kiss Army stuff. But the Love Gun one did have the Love Gun in it, and I don't know what the hell happened to it. So, hello, Raymond. Yeah, if I say hello, Raymond, I'm sorry. Don't mean to be repetitious if I did. But that kind of pissed me off. I made a video just now, just before I went on here live. I said, let me get a video in the pipeline. I'll keep it, maybe put it up next week sometime. And it's gone. I'm going to look everywhere. I'm going to look in my car. I'm going to see if it fell out and fell into the car. I called the record store up and I asked them, I said, what happened? I know. And people are suggesting that I didn't get I did not get the copy that had the cardboard gun in it. Yes, I did. I know for a fact because I talked to the store owner and I said, "Look at this. It's even got the gun in it. That's cool." And we put it in there, and then I brought it home but I didn't bring it home. But I brought it. I didn't get it at my local record store. I got it at another record store. So I'm reading questions ahead of time. I'm reading questions ahead of time. So that's the thing. I was at my second store. I was at the second store. I showed everybody, "Hey, look, it's got." So I know I picked the one with the gun in it. By the way, I'm sorry about the lighting in here. I got to get a new light bulb. The light bulb that I have in this lamp is like a yellow bulb, but sometimes it's yellow, sometimes not as yellow. Okay, Erin, hello, says, I work for CNN, love your channel. We'll be running a segment next month about vinyl versus digital. Would you be part of the segment? Oh, if it's on the up and up, that would be interesting. For sure. You know, Kiss Psycho Circus album is fab. Yes, indeed. They say that. I've heard that. Well, both. I like vinyl. I like collector's items, and I like vinyl both. Playing it and everything. Uh, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It really pisses me off, and I hate to think that somebody at the store is harboring it. I hate to think that because I'm sure I had it at the store. You know, well, we'll see. I call it the mystery of the disappearing love gun. So we'll see how that makes out. How I make out with that, etc., etc. So, any other people here? I notice a person is missing. A guy is mysteriously absent. His name is Joe. Joe Lee, Lee. Where are you, Joe Lee? Your Yankees lost. You were over there so sure that they were going to kill the Mets in the two games of the Subway Series. We wound up killing you. What happened, Joe Lee? I think he may pop up here. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, Mark says how he grew up with vinyl and had many bad experiences over the years. Digital has been much better for me. Oh, there have been a few bad ones. Yeah, I think there's more bad experiences with vinyl than digital, if you will. But if you're talking digital, if you're talking about CDs, But yeah, Tim, I did all this. Yes, indeed. I looked inside all the other LPs. I looked in the inner sleeves. I'm going to be doing it. I do it at least two or three times already, as a matter of fact. But I'm going to try even again, and see what the story is. Uh, I I've never listened to Keith Richards as a solo artist, so I really have no idea what I think that. Why you don't like Mash? I find it boring, and you say, but you do like the theme song. Yes, I do. I love the theme song. It's a catchy, well, catchy. It's not a happy song. Suicide is painless. It's called, but I do like the song for sure. Um, and I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of it. Am I a fan of Lita Ford's solo work? Yeah, but within reason. I've heard some of it. I'm not as wild about her as Joan Jett. In fact, right now as we speak, I could have been having a seat reserved outside in a park where Joan Jett is playing a free concert tonight at Eisenhower Park. And I decided not to go. And I say that because she did this once 7 years ago. And 7 years ago, I did go. As a matter of fact, I went out and I camped out. I went there like 8 o'clock in the morning or something, reserved, had a lawn chair, and I reserved my spot all day into the night. I'm just not going to do it this time. Yeah, I definitely think Ringo's new single "World Go Round" is kind of average at best. That's my assessment. And Mark is answering from before. Yes, he's talking primarily CDs, though he has to share official MP3 downloads. Sorry, to me, MP3s don't exist. But there you go. And Doc Docus is bummed that he still have not heard the Ringo song. It's all over YouTube, Doc. Come on, this is the 21st century. Speaking of downloads, see, I don't mind downloads like that. Like, in other words, wait a minute, I see somebody showing up. I'll get there in a minute. Um, but see, that's why I'm interested. I don't mind downloading just to hear the song. Like, what does Ringo's new song sound like? Okay, download it, listen to it. But as far as owning it, ain't going to be in a cloud or something for me. Here he is. Everybody's been waiting, and here he is right now. Congratulations on sweeping the Yankees. All credit to the Mets. You have my respect. Well, don't you respect the Mets, not not me. I'm sure you mean. Thank you, Joe. That's good sportsmanship, and I appreciate that. Of course, I was just busting your balls a little bit there in my video that I did on this. I was having fun. If you saw it, so. The song does not come up. Ringo's new song does not come up in YouTube searches. Okay, well, I guess then I will have to see if I could send you my link, see if that works. Ringo's latest EPs have taught Tim Allen how to skip. Ho, ho, ho. Actually, I love the first EP, Zoom In. I loved the whole thing. And then the second one that came out, Change the World, I really only liked a song called Coming Undone. But there you go. All right, folks. We're going to take a little think about it. Oh man, throat's dry. So everybody, what's on your so-called minds? And even though it's not a requirement and it's not a necessity, anybody that wants to help out the channel and help me out by supporting the button below, that's greatly appreciated. I'm glad you liked that video. Zach, it's the one I did about the Mets and the Yankees. Because I was having fun with it and I really wanted to go crazy. Is that a Munsters t-shirt? Yeah, but I wear this all the time. It's a good time to wear it because that lousy, stinking new Rob Zombie Munsters needless reboot is on its way out. So, what's up, Gary? Gary Hunt. I'm glad your name's not Mike. Oh, look at Woodland's looking in the mirror again. Yes, indeed. Okay, what's going on? Yes, indeed. We got to talk about this, Robert S. Sitting in a park enjoying the weather while I watch. We need to make our Pete Best plans soon. We certainly do. We got to talk on the phone. Let's do it. Robert S. and I are supposed to go to meet Pete Best at a show that he's doing. It's actually a comic book show. So, oh, I understand. Jolie's got a problem. He's heading out this evening and wants to figure out which World Series hat he has to wear. I would stick with the present. The bottom line is you can't beat the Mets. You guys are supposed to be all this and all that. You guys can't beat the Mets. And I didn't realize it until I found out how many games did the Mets beat the Yankees in the last 6 out of 8 or something like that. It's some kind of really impressive amount. So those World Series hats of yours have got to be pretty dusty. I mean, granted, they're not as dusty as Mets hats because God knows the last Mets World Series was 1986. The hat is probably all deteriorated and fallen apart by now. But as you well know from the 1918 Boston Red Sox and the Cubs, remember the Chicago Cubs didn't win a World Series for 100 years or whatever it was. The tide turns. You know what I mean? So get ready for the Mets. If not this year, next year, the year after that. So, let's see. Hello, Darren. Darren Gamble. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Were hats invented back then? I see somebody saying, where is it? Joe Lee, why don't you wear a 1969 Mets World Series hat? And Joe, very funny, says, were hats invented back then? That's what you're going to have to do. Remember, you're going to have to stick to yesterday because the Yankees are done. Okay, they couldn't even beat the Mets. You can't beat the Mets, the greatest team in baseball, the New York Yankees, and you couldn't beat the lowly Mets, your little baby brothers. They killed you, Joe. Killed you. And you should bow your head down to Scherzer, who absolutely destroyed Aaron Judge, who was struck out 3 or 4 times or something like that. Where are we at next? Oh, let's see. Okay. Very well. Joe Lee shows up after days on contemplating if he should ever return or not. He was really devastated. He was devastated, devastated. And just to say, good game, or congratulations, well done. You have my respect. You know, I agree. The Yankees are the best team money can buy. Exactly, exactly. Hello, Kimba. What's the good word? I'm glad you were poked in from work. Right, you were at work. So let's see. I did not see the. Oh, maybe I did. Come to think of it, now that you mentioned, I think I did see Summer of Sam in the movie theater. I remember it didn't impress me much. In fact, I don't remember anything about it, but I think I did. I did see it. Is there one piece of Beatles merch you keep an eye out for, but don't think you'll ever find for the collection? You can find anything these days on eBay, right? Um, I don't know really. I always say the same answers every time somebody asks. I want the Beatles and Frank Ifield album with the portrait cover. By the way, I'm saying right now they probably will. The Yanks are probably going to kill the Mets uh, in New York. You got to remember too, though, that it's a baby ballpark. It's a baby ballpark. So the Yankees have so many home runs. Aaron Judge has so many home runs because he plays in a baby ballpark. In fact, there were more than one time with the series with the Mets and the Yankees at Citi Field where a ball was hit far out and somebody caught it. And the announcer said, if this had been in Yankee Stadium, that's a home run. Play in a real adult ballpark, not a little league ballpark. Okay, I see we got Kid O'Toole here, my partner on Talk More Talk. By the way, this is a good time to say tomorrow we're going to be doing an episode of Fab Gab, and we're also going to have Tim Allen there, and here he is here. Be still my beating heart. It's Kimba. Welcoming Kimba, Tim Allen, and Kid O'Toole. We're going to be doing Fab Gab. The topic tomorrow is going to be the anniversary of the Beatles' Deco Audition tapes. In 1962, they recorded the Deco Auditions, and we're going to take 15 songs that they did in the Deco Audition, and we're going to rank them from our least to most favorite, if that's such a thing. So that's going to be done tomorrow at 4 p.m. Probably 24 hours from now, we'll be in the midst of it. So 4 p.m. Eastern time. Tune into my channel for Fab Gab, the Beatles Deco Editions anniversary, 60 years. Okay, let me just see where we're at. Hello, Claire. Do you think sometime in New York City will still come out this year? What's your take on it? Good question. Claire, I really don't know. I'd like to think it's going to happen. I haven't heard anything. Nobody in the Beatles circles has heard anything. There's some rumor that the reason it may not happen is because of the one song, "Woman is the blank of the world," and I really hope that's not the case. I hope there's some way they could find around that, but that's just a rumor. That's just a rumor. I haven't heard anything. There's still time. We still have half a year left, give or take, right? And 5 months left, whatever we have. And it can happen in November. Who knows? It can happen later. Um, yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I know there's people out there that are not big sports fans. I'm not a big sports fan. I just like Mets baseball. So I'm not going to indulge too much of this, but I will say about that. I think that's a terrible thing that ballparks in baseball has so many different dimensions. Everybody should have the same distance all around the major leagues. Yeah, we're gonna be three cool cats. I like that. I like that. Kit, three cool cats is keep that in mind when we do the show. By the way, I'm happy to say I've actually got it done. Do you know? I mean, it usually takes me a while. I usually wait to the last minute before I write down and rank my songs for one of these shows. But I got it done this morning, so it's done. Might as well waiting to go. The whole thing is, though, I got sidetracked, and I thought for some reason that today was Sunday. I thought we were doing the show today. Tomorrow is Sunday. Hey, that's what happens when you're retired, folks. Every day is like Saturday or Sunday. You know. Let's see now. Okay. All right. Anybody out there want to participate? By the way, when we do this thing, the Fab Gab rankings from least favorite track of the fifth, it's 15 tracks of the Deco editions. There are 15 tracks. Least favorite Deco edition to most favorite Deco edition. And I'm having a hell. I say I finished it, but I'm having a hard time with the first five. Really, to tell you the truth, they're also mediocre. They're equally mediocre. So I really don't know. But you people can play along. It's a live show and it's interactive, so you can do that. Very funny, Robert. As Deco editions. Give Tim and Kit something better to discuss. Well, I know you're kidding, but it's the anniversary. The anniversary was January 1st. I also have another couple of topics for 1962 to discuss later in the year. So, hello to Penny Lane. What's the good word? Hello, Jeff Allen. Let's see. Uh, Mark reminds us that the Lennon archive releases have not been conforming to the anniversary year, so sometime in New York City might not land this year. Well, the thing is, it's just that there was a tweet from Sean Lennon. Somebody asked last year in 2021, when will we see sometime in New York City? And Sean simply wrote 2022. So, based on that, is why we believe it's going to happen. You know, hey man, save one chick for me. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's fun. And Tim Allen says, "I'll be searching. He'll be searching for oh, no, no, whatever that is." Let's see. Sometime in New York City. Are there better songs in the archive? That would be helpful. Tough. That's the way it is. First of all, Sometime in New York City is an underrated album in my view. Do I think it's John's best album? No, not even close to his best. However, it has its place, and I'm really I was proud that they're actually going to do it or thinking of doing it. So, am I going to give an honest opinion on Pete Best's drumming? Yes, I am, and it kind of surprised me after not hearing it in a long time. Let's leave it at that. "Lend Me Your Comb" is not one of the one of the songs. The answer is a big fat zero. A Z for zero, just like Z for zombie. Hey Henry, do I think Paul was more musically talented than John, or was John just lazier? Hey, look, I do think Paul was more naturally musically gifted than John. I do, and I think John was more lazy than Paul. Paul was more of a workaholic. Hello, Danny. Danny Ambrosi. What's the good word? I absolutely deplore, despise, loathe Mystery Science Theater. I hate that show. Notoriously, I hate it. Anybody who knows me. Reason I hate it is a couple of reasons. Number one, because I don't like them taking the liberty to rank on movies. Some of the movies are so bad, of course, it's easy to rank on the bad movies, the grade Z films. But some of them that they rank on don't deserve to be on there. A movie like This Island Earth is not one of the grade Z movies. A movie like The Revenge of the Creature, the second film of the Creature from the Black Lagoon series, is not a bad film. It's not a stupid film. So but what that show has done is that it has taught people, kids, to laugh at old movies, regardless. Because I know I used to go after that show premiered. I used to go to see some movies, old movies, brought back into revival theaters in New York City, and you'd go there, and people right away, as soon as the credits come on in black and white, they laugh before there's even anything to laugh about. That's stupid. That's just stupid. And finally, reason why I despise that show is because your jokes are not that funny, folks. The robots and the guy, they're not that funny. I've seen some of them. My jokes are funnier, and my friends. If I want to laugh at a movie, if we think a movie's so bad it's funny, I'll sit down with the popcorn and my buddies, and we'll laugh and make better jokes than you. I don't need you to tell me the jokes and what's supposed to be funny to look at. There's my rant against Mystery Science Theater. So, yeah, I don't want to say too much, Clear Coat. You say the deck of tapes are strange. Lennon, who was by far the best vocalist, has fewer tracks than Harrison. Yeah, it's something I'll talk about a little bit. This is a good point Mark makes. He wonders if there could be a clash with the Frank Zappa estate regarding the Fillmore tracks. Maybe that could be a problem. Good point. They came out on a Zappa box, but I couldn't pull the trigger on that one. Yeah. You're not going to get any love for me for Zappa. I have no need for Zappa at all. Oh, what did I think about the "Give Me Some Truth" album? I really liked it, and I liked very much what Sean did, and the people that worked on it together managed to really improve the sound. And I thought it was phenomenal. And some of the tracks, especially something like "Angel Baby," which was amazing. "Stand by Me" was amazing. Lennon was kind of a hypocrite. Care to elaborate? I think everybody can be a little hypocritical at times. I have never seen Breaking Bad, but I must be missing something because everybody says it's great. So there you go. Yeah, Manos, the Hands of Fate. I've never seen it, but I know it's god awful. I've seen a lot of god awful movies along those lines, believe me. But like I'm trying to say, if I think they're funny, I can watch myself and laugh. I don't need them to laugh for me. That kind of thing. Oh, well, that's those are not hypocritical. That's stupid thinking. A lot of people do that. You see, you don't have to. It's so stupid. I don't know how to word this every time this comes up. I may do a video on it. We have to do a fab gab on this. Just because John Lennon says, "Imagine no possessions," he said possessions, not money, but imagine no possessions. I guess that's his way of saying, what's all the things that make people have war? What cause war? What causes problems? Probably things like religion and people having different religions. Every and separating us, and some people have and some people have not. It doesn't mean you have to give back the money. Like, for example, I say here, imagine no internet. I think the world would be a lot better place if we didn't have the internet. Personally, I think the internet, social media, is the biggest thing that's ruined us. That said, I'm here now engaging in the internet. Do I have to stop doing this in order to say, just imagine what it might be like if there was nothing, no internet? Maybe it'd be a better place. You know what I mean? You don't have to give up your possession to imagine what the world would be like if there were no possession. In fact, in the song, John also says, I wonder if you can. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. As a matter of fact, when he sings it live sometimes, he changed the words to I wonder if we can. I wish he would have used the word we in the song, meaning like himself too. People take that too literally. And the thing about it is treated as sunlight crap. I don't really engage too much to this nonsense, Joe. I really don't, because let's see how you would do if you were 22, 23 years old and you wound up becoming super famous, as big as the Beatles overnight, and you had a son that you didn't really plan on because it was let's face it, an illegitimate birth. I mean, he didn't. I mean, he didn't plan on it, is what I mean. To get that right, and you have to tour the world. You got to make records all the time. You're making movies. You're only 23 years old. You haven't grown up yourself. You're not even matured yet. You haven't even learned what it's like to be an adult yet, for God's sake. And you don't even know what it's like to be a father because nobody was a good father to you. You know, you didn't have a father. Then you have this baby, and under those circumstances, what are you supposed to do? What are you really supposed to do? The best John could do was, as he grew and matured, he was a better father to Julian in his 30s and certainly at 40. And they had some kind of relationship together by the time they're 40. He was 40, excuse me. And he learned from his second child, and he was a great, very doting and caring father to Sean based on, unfortunately, I feel bad for Julian. He had to be the almost like the guinea pig, but nevertheless, he did what he could do. You're with me, eh, kid? Me too. The humor very tedious, very unfun. You know, you'll see like I don't know. You'll see like I'm making something else. They'll show you a monster, and his like hair will be like crazy or something. They'll say, "I think he needs a haircut." It's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's very poor humor. I could make a funnier joke. So exactly, Henry. Thank you for throwing that in. He's saying, "Imagine it." You know, imagine. What it could be like. Could you do it yourself? No. That's why he says in the song, "I wonder if you can." We can himself too. But people, we just did a show about this, sort of in a way, about John getting bashed these days. We did it on Talk More Talk. So if you want to check that out, watch the most recent show we did on Talk More Talk over on YouTube. And we did a show like that, the reputations kind of John Lennon and Paul McCartney, over how the dynamics have changed through the years. John said, "Imagine no possessions, not I wish I had no possessions." It's so silly that people could be that simple-minded sometimes when they hear like lyrics like that. But a lot of people share that same thing. Oh, the thing about love, I didn't get into that. I forgot one thing he said about Joe Lee had said about John was a hypocrite because even Julian said that because he sings about love, yet he can't even have love in his own life. First of all, John was very loving. Ringo called him the kindest of the Beatles, the other three Beatles in his mind. That's what Ringo called him. I have an interview where he says that about John on camera and everything, 1992. And also, when you're a person who spent a lot of his life looking for love, searching for love, trying to be more like that, John did more for love than I did, and you did, and you did, and you did, and you did. I mean, he did a lot, I think, to try to raise consciousness about love. And he says sometimes that's why I'm always on about peace. And sometimes it's the people that kind of have to self therapy themselves, you know, that kind of looking for peace. A person who's not really the most peaceful guy, maybe not always good at being the most lovable guy or loving guy, is the one trying to be better, trying to raise the flags of we need more of this, we need more peace, we need more love. Maybe he's saying I need more. You know, it's therapeutic. You know, in my opinion. Um, Give me some truth or definitive Lennon from 2005. Which is your favorite? I'm kind of like thinking what definitive Lennon is. I'm lost on that one. I don't really know which one that is. There's a lot of you're talking about compilations. I can't think which one that is. Thank you, Wiggy Monster. I'm glad you liked it, right, Kit? When you say so, oh yes, Kit liked it. You see, Kit, what I'm going through? This is exactly what we were talking about on the last show. People like Joe Lee and other people too that are so misinformed and have all these feelings against John because he's not here to defend himself, It's sad. Let's see. Yes, I agree with you. I think John Lennon was a work in progress, and he was always working, always looking to better himself. And meeting Yoko, sorry, you Yoko haters, was part of what made him better. It was. Sorry. I know that irks a lot of people who wanted him to be with old quiet Cynthia who never said anything and just got his pipe and slippers and that's it. But Yoko was a strong woman who made John strong as well and helped him be a little more of a feminist, a little bit more sympathetic to women, and ultimately a better dad as well. So there you go. And yes, John Lennon admitted his problems. The Working Class Hero album. Well, I don't know. Put it this way: out of any of these albums that came out, the compilation of John's, I kind of prefer right now anyway. Give me some truth. Just because I like what they did with the sound on a lot of songs. I like the sound improvements. Of the other ones, I think Lennon Legend is pretty good. I remember this. I heard this story. There was a story where John met Brian Wilson at the 1975 Grammys, and Brian Wilson was in a bad way. Introduced himself to John twice. Instead of pointing out Wilson's mistake, John pretended as if the first encounter didn't happen and recreated the same exact conversation for Wilson's benefit. These little things that people want to forget. That's what partly what our recent Talk More Talk episode was about. The idea how everybody just wants to bang, bang on Lennon, and it's like he's not here to defend himself. He's been gone for 42 years. So everybody just runs with the narrative, and that's a shame, because he would set you straight, believe me, on a lot of it. If Kiss didn't wear makeup, how popular do you think they would be? I don't think they would have been popular at all back in the 70s. And I say that as somebody who just, bought some Kiss albums and stuff like that. We'll talk about that another time. But anyway, um, it was definitely I was there in 1975, 76, and I was 13, 14, 15 years old when they were really big, when they started out. And I'm telling you, it was the makeup, the spitting of the blood, the breathing fire, all that stuff was all anybody really wanted to talk about. Yeah, everybody could have different opinions, but not their own facts. That's the problem. And the narrative that's going around right now about John Lennon is that the guy's all evil, and that's it. And everything is a contradiction. Everything is negative. Everything is he's the devil incarnate, and he wasn't good to anybody. He only cared about himself, and all this garbage, which is not true at all. There you go, JL Draw. There you go. Yeah, but John did love Julian. He even said in the last one of the last interviews in Playboy, he says, Sean was a planned child. Julian wasn't, but that doesn't mean I love him any less. It's in there. Okay. He says that in the Playboy interview. But anyway, you know what people say about this, Tim? Whenever you point out that period, they say, well, it was because of May Pang. Because May Pang got together John and Julian. It wasn't really John. It was mostly May. If it wasn't for May Pang, John would have never saw Julian. Meanwhile, when May Pang wasn't even all around, I see pictures of John together with Julian and Yoko, in the non-May Pang periods, before and after. So, including the late 70s. So, it's just the way that is. You have to decide what you mean. Gene Simmons. I've been amazed by Gene Simmons. I've watched a lot of interviews with that man, and I think the guy is really a smart, bright individual. I think, of course, he's a master negotiator, marketer, salesman, all that stuff. But I like the fact that he actually went through his life, you know, enjoying the excesses of fame, but never giving in to the drugs, never having to do the drugs or the drinking. He was very committed. When I see interviews with Kiss members, I don't know a lot about them, but from what I've been watching, it seems to me that Gene Simmons has his head on straight. Paul Stanley pretty much had his head on straight. It's Ace Frehley and Peter Criss and these other guys that screwed everything up. So I like Gene Simmons as a person. I find him very interesting. But like anybody else, there are things I don't like. I find him the John Lennon of the group, if you want. Okay, he's much more interesting. Uh, let's see, Shade Fish. The thing about the Shade Fish compilation, "Give Peace a Chance," you say, was a travesty. They only used a snippet of it, but I got to tell you, I've never been a big fan of the song "Give Peace a Chance." I've always liked "Give Peace a Chance" as a slogan. I thought it was a great slogan, but as a song, it's pretty dull. To tell you the truth. The reason I don't really like it is other songs that are trimmed too. Well, at least "Woman is the blank of the world" is trimmed. Yeah, this is another thing too. I don't really want to. I hate going here, but now that you said it, nobody talks about George being a big womanizer. He was the biggest womanizer of all. He even slept with Ringo's wife. I don't even think John did that. So let's just get that out of the way. You know. Yeah, I'm with you, Kid, on this. Kid says she thinks the "Give Me Some Truth" compilation did a great remix on "Whatever Gets You Through the Night." Made a world of difference. Yeah, I get. I never really loved "Whatever Gets You Through the Night." Never really loved it, but I really did like the version on "Give Me Some Truth." I thought it brought John more to the fore. And having said that, I love Elton John. I've never had a problem with Elton John. I love Elton John's classic stuff. But on that particular song, I'm glad that on the "Give Me Some Truth" version, you get more, of John. It sounds like. You know. Hello, Scott. Scott Sondheim. Hello, Cherry Carter. Hello, Julio. So you're saying that Kiss is nothing more than a novelty act? I like some of their music, very little of their music. I think they rock pretty good. Can I say they don't have a lot of classics, but they rock pretty good. I think that originally, anyway, the novelty is what sold them originally. I think they must have gotten past that because they took the makeup off. They got rid of the novelty act. They took the makeup off, and they still were pretty good. Then they put the makeup back on. I don't think today. Well, I say today. I don't think in the 21st century, say the last 20 plus years, I don't think people are loving Kiss because of their makeup anymore. I would say Paul McCartney more often than not defends John's legacy more often than not. That's another thing. I was talking a little while ago about that page called, I think it's called The Love of John Lennon. One thing that crops up too very often are a lot of autograph photos. These are photos that I guess private collectors have. Anybody, people just out there who have met John when he was alive and got his autograph. I never knew there were so many autograph photos of John signing autographs for people. Of course, John had his bad days too. I know two people that had experiences with John where he didn't want to sign autographs. Two people um, that I know of, that I've talked to. So I'm not trying to say that John couldn't be nasty or John didn't have his bad times too. But more often than not, John even signed for his killer just hours before John was murdered, before he murdered him. You know, very interesting. That's a good assessment of the Beatles, Tim. You're into the music, not the costumes. Yeah, I know, right? But you're saying let the man rest, but of course, Farrell. I mean, people have to keep up the agenda. They got to keep on bashing away. You know, mm, makes them feel good. Alrighty. See you later, Jolie. Um, yeah, I know. Almost no people are saints. We all have flaws. Yeah. Some people don't want you to see their flaws. Some Beatles don't want you to see their flaws or warts. Do I think that if George Harrison had never gone through the knife attack he's talking about in 1999, would he maybe still be alive today? I don't think so. To tell you the truth, I know some people thought maybe even his son, George's son Danny, might have thought that the knife attack George underwent sped up his death. I don't think he'd be here today. No, unfortunately. Am I excited for the new Ringo EP? Yes, I am. Even though I made a video saying that Ringo's new song that's out, I get change. What is it called? I get mixed up with Change the World and Round Change, Change Around, World Change, whatever the hell the name of it is. I mean, Oh boy. World Go Round. World Go Round, is that it? World Go Round wasn't really wasn't it wasn't a bad song, but it was just mediocre. It was all right, okay, nothing more. I'm still excited to hear the rest of it for sure. I'll never forget when Kiss took off their makeup for the "Lick It Up" video. The hype was huge. I agree with you, Joe. They made the right decision keeping the makeup on. Well, I don't know about that. I think they made the decision when they first started to put the makeup on, which kind of sold them to the public as a gimmick. And then later on, I think they actually made a smart decision to get publicity by taking it off. So, but either way, it's publicity. Um, Fingers crossed on a Giles Martin mix of Revolver on the next Beatles release. Your favorite Beatles album. You and a lot of people, Claire, like that album best. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't. We just have no clue right now. If there's going to be anything else, although I think there is. You know, are they going to do Revolver? Are they going to go to Rubber Soul and then Revolver? Are they going to go all the way back with Please Please Me? I don't know. Well, okay. Tom Petty seemed to feel that George Harrison uh, might have been able to beat the cancer if it wasn't for the knife attack. Maybe. I don't know. I just know it's very, 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 very unfortunate. I don't have to tell you all that we don't have John or George here. You know, I mean, well, I mean, John, would John have lived to 82? A lot of people say John and George may not have lived to be in their 80s anyway. Well, whatever. But we could have used them at least till they were in their 60s, 70s, at least say. Who's my favorite boy band? Let's see. Do I have a favorite boy band? I'm taking this question serious. Let's put it this way. The Beatles are not a boy band. The Beatles were never a boy band. If you would consider the Monkees the first boy band, I'll pick the Monkees. But I don't even want to consider them. How about like the Osmonds as the best boy band? Yeah, world go around. I finally figured that out, Mark, by the end of it, by the end of my stupor and brain fart. Mm, okay, Joe, if you were being chased by an escaped mental patient with an axe, you have a horse, bicycle, a skateboard to escape. Which do you choose? Oh my God, that's interesting. I think a horse would be the fastest, right? But I don't have experience riding a horse. If I had experience riding a horse, by the time I mounted the horse, I might be axed to death. But if I could get on the horse and kick it and let it run, then I'd definitely go for the horse. So, and there's Kit's, the Jackson Five favorite boy band. I say, sorry, Kit, I said Osmonds. Oh man, actually, I probably like more Jackson Five songs than I wonder if I do. I don't know. I think there might be an equal amount of songs by the Osmonds and an equal amount to the Jackson Five that I like. Uh, so let me just go down. What do I think of the Beatles MoFi version now that it might be digital? Luckily for me, I never cared about the MoFi crap anyway. I don't. I never was a MoFi guy really, so that doesn't make a difference to me. Thankfully, Tim Allen, of course. Tim's always thinking of the money, the money. I know, Tim. I know. Ringo's new. Tim's the kind of guy, and who can blame him? He wants to go to a thrift store and find these things for a buck. Everybody likes to find things for a buck, but it's not realistic, you know. Ringo's new EP is $23 for the vinyl. That adds to $69 for an album. I'm gonna have to pass. I don't really know. I don't know what to tell you. This is the 21st century. I'm not happy about it either, but and Doc Dacus is having a pot of penne rigate tonight. Yeah, you could eat all that stuff and not be fat, right? I love those people, right? I sit here and I watch you eat that, Doc, and I gained 5 pounds watching you. It was a cough. Um, okay. Uh, what do you, Julio? When are you and I gonna go out to eat? By the way, all of a sudden, I'm not. The vinyl purge is on halt right now. But when come on, man, let's find a day. The Beatles were considered a boy band early on. No, they weren't. The term boy band. You're a music guy. The term boy band wasn't even coined until decades after the Beatles split up. Okay. The Beatles, first of all, they were not boys, really. By the time they were famous, they were at least, what, 21, 22. They weren't like 16, 17, 18. And they wrote their own material for the most part. If you mean that the girls screamed at them, okay. They screamed at the Rolling Stones. They screamed for the Turtles. They screamed for everybody. Were they all boy bands? I mean, you have to define boy band. But see, this is what the problem is, you see. Henry says, I think people think that John wouldn't have lived into his 80s because he did the most drugs and was skinny in 1980. But he was much healthier than he was before. I think he was clean in his later years. He was clean of drugs pretty much when he died, however, more or less. However, he was into nicotine. He loved smoking still, and smoking is a killer. But the thing is, you see, this is what gets me. Ringo himself, if you looked at Ringo when he was the same age at 40, you would have thought Ringo would have been dead too. That Ringo never would have made it, right? Because Ringo didn't take care of himself. Ringo didn't get sober until 48. How do you know that when John was 40, 44, 45, 46, he didn't get super in great shape, maybe gain more weight, a little more weight, maybe work out at the gym? You don't know. So all people do, and I know, and Henry, I realize, I'm sorry here, I'm not after you. I realize you're just talking about what surmising what other people might be thinking. But the thing is, I can't stand when people look at somebody how they were when they died. Think like, for example, so and so died when they were 35, and they never liked to eat Italian food. So I don't think he would have ever eaten Italian food later in his life. How do you know that? Just because when he died he didn't eat Italian food, that means he never would have started eating it, or whatever it is. He didn't like gardening when he was 40, and he died at 40. So I can't picture that person gardening at 80. You know. I don't know, folks. Both a blessing and a curse for me to live with this, what I often call uncommon sense. Uh, well, that's the thing. Yeah, part of being a boy band is that they were manufactured to be put together. They selected them. You here, you here, you here. Put them together uh, by an impresario. They were right. They were organic. JL Draw put it. That's why I'm so glad you're back commenting again, because you make so many good points. It's true. The Beatles had to hone their craft. They had to go and play in hard clubs, earn it the hard way. Yeah, it's true that Brian Epstein dressed them up a little bit, made them more neat, but that's got nothing to do with it, as far as I'm concerned. These days, we look at that and say that's kind of like a boy band today was, but it really wasn't at the core. You know. Let's see, we're over an hour, folks. Gonna wind it up soon. This has been a very fun and charged Q&A. Ah, I see again. Peter Boothroyd, of all people, do you, my friend, of all people, have to use that stupid term, cash grab? Cash grab is natural. Cash grab is what people do. You either spend your money or you don't spend your money. I've heard people here. I know. I think Tim Allen said he's not going to buy it. I think that I think Mr. Beatles Pro. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it was Robert P. Somebody else I know said they weren't going to buy it. Look, since the beginning of time, I'm so tired of talking about this. Since the beginning of recorded time, people have put wares out there. They make wares, and you either buy their wares or you don't buy their wares. They've been trying to grab your cash since the beginning of caveman days. Here, I'll give you this for this. Trade you this rock for that duck or whatever. I mean, come on, really. Ah. Well, like I say, what I say, who everything I say makes perfect sense. Unfortunately, a lot of people just don't see it. That's unfortunate. All right, let's wrap this up soon. We're getting there. There we go. If the Beatles were a boy band, then so were the Rolling Stones, the Kinks, the Who, the Yardbirds. Exactly. Exactly. And of course, Kit can't resist a little promotion there. We will, of course, be covering Ringo's EP in a future Talk More Talk episode. Yeah, so I'm going to go now, folks. This has been loads of fun. Don't forget, I'm here pretty much every Saturday night. Once in a while, there'll come a time when I can't make it, but every Saturday, I keep saying night, late Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Thank you, everybody, for coming here. Don't forget to watch tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a live show called Fab Gab. Fab Gab, I do every once in a while. Kid O'Toole's going to be on it. Tim Allen here is going to be on it. We're going to be revisiting the Beatles Deco editions. And we're going to be ranking our tracks from the least favorite to the most favorite. If you can get the 15 songs listed, listen to them again before now and tomorrow. You have almost kind of like 24 hours or so. You can join us because it's interactive. So, everybody, save your questions here for next time. If I missed you, sorry. It's so great to see you all here. And, a week goes fast. So, before you know it, I will be back. All right, folks. Talk to y'all soon.